"I wish I had known this sooner." Those were Bob's last words before his stroke at 68. Like many Americans aged 65 to 75, he thought he was doing everything right. He wasn't. According to the CDC, 80% of seniors in this age range have at least one dangerous habit that could cut their life short. Even more alarming? These habits are silently damaging your health right now. Today, I'll reveal 5 critical behaviors you must stop immediately. Habits that could be stealing years from your life. As a health advisor with 20 years of experience, I've seen too many lives changed forever because they waited too long to make changes. Before we dive in, I'd love to know which city you're watching from. Drop your location in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to join our community of health-conscious seniors. Your life might depend on what you learn next. 1. Stop these physical health destroyers. According to the National Institutes of Health, 68% of deaths in Americans aged 65 to 75 are directly linked to preventable lifestyle habits. Let that sink in. 2/3 of seniors are losing precious years because of habits they could change today. Let's talk about the most dangerous physical habits you need to stop immediately. First, that high-fat, high-salt diet you think isn't hurting you. It is. Mary, a 67-year-old from Boston, ignored the warnings until her heart attack last year. "I thought a little extra salt wouldn't matter," she told me. "Now I know every salty meal was pushing me closer to disaster." The American Heart Association reports that reducing salt intake after 65 can lower heart attack risk by 40%. That's not just a number. That's years of life with your grandchildren. Stop eating processed foods and excessive salt immediately. Instead, embrace the Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Within just 3 weeks, Mary's blood pressure dropped from dangerous to normal levels. Next, let's address the exercise myth that's hurting so many seniors. Either you're not moving enough or you're exercising wrong. Both can be deadly. The CDC reports that 60% of seniors either don't exercise at all or are doing exercises that increase their fall risk. Bob, whom you met earlier, was doing high-impact exercises that his body wasn't ready for. The result? A devastating fall that triggered his stroke. Stop pushing yourself too hard or remaining sedentary. Start with low-impact exercises like swimming, walking, or Tai Chi. Studies show just 30 minutes of appropriate exercise 5 days a week can reduce your risk of major health issues by 45%. Perhaps most dangerous is ignoring your body's warning signs. That persistent fatigue, the occasional chest discomfort. The NIH found that 70% of seniors dismiss early warning signs, calling them just age-related. This mindset nearly cost Martha her life. At 72, she ignored her increasing fatigue until she collapsed from severe anemia. "I kept telling myself it was normal aging," she says. "I was wrong." Stop dismissing these signals. Your body is trying to tell you something. Make regular checkups non-negotiable. Martha now gets quarterly checkups and says she feels better than she has in years. The changes you need to make start today. Begin by cleaning out your pantry. Those processed foods aren't worth the risk. Then, reach out to a fitness professional who specializes in senior health for a proper assessment. Finally, make that medical appointment you've been putting off. Your body deserves this attention. The results can be dramatic. Take Sarah, age 69, who implemented these changes 6 months ago. Her inflammation markers dropped by 60%, her energy levels soared, and she recently danced at her grandson's wedding, something she thought she'd never be able to do. Remember, these aren't just lifestyle changes, they're life-saving decisions. Every day you continue these dangerous habits, you're gambling with time you could be spending with loved ones. Don't wait for a wake-up call like Bob's stroke or Martha's collapse. If you're still watching and ready to make these critical changes, type "I'm ready" in the comments below. Your commitment might inspire others to take this life-saving step too. 2. Stop these daily safety hazards. The numbers from the CDC are shocking. Every 11 seconds, an older adult is treated in the emergency room for a fall. Even more alarming, 95% of these accidents could have been prevented by stopping a few dangerous daily habits. John Peterson, 73, learned this lesson the hard way. "I used to climb on chairs to change light bulbs, insisting I was still as agile as ever," he recalls. One afternoon, that stubborn independence nearly cost him everything. The fall left him with a broken hip and $40,000 in medical bills. But what hurt most wasn't the injury or the cost. It was losing his independence for 6 long months. The dangerous habits start with everyday carelessness. That rushing down the stairs while carrying laundry, the quick step onto an unstable chair, these aren't signs of independence. They're gambles with your future. The CDC reports that such routine accidents account for 80% of senior hospitalizations. Then there's the exhausting habit of overworking. Many seniors pride themselves on maintaining the same intense work schedule they had decades ago. Margaret, a 70-year-old former teacher, continued tutoring 8 hours a day until severe fatigue led to a dangerous, dizzy spell. "I thought pushing through the tiredness proved I was still capable," she says. "Instead, it proved I wasn't listening to my body." Perhaps most concerning is ignoring obvious safety risks, those loose rugs you keep tripping over, the dark hallway without night lights, the cluttered pathways. Each one is a potential disaster waiting to happen. The National Institute on Aging found that simple home modifications can reduce fall risk by 50%. John's story has a positive turn. After his recovery, he made crucial changes. He installed proper lighting, secured loose rugs, and most importantly, changed his mindset about asking for help. "Now I call my son or a neighbor for tasks involving heights or heavy lifting," he says. "It's not about losing independence. It's about being smart enough to stay independent." The financial impact of ignoring these safety measures can be devastating. The average hospital stay from a fall costs $30,000, and Medicare doesn't cover everything. But the real cost isn't measured in dollars. It's measured in the loss of freedom, dignity, and quality of life. Prevention isn't complicated, but it requires immediate action. Start by walking through your home with fresh eyes. Notice those hazards you've been ignoring. Install proper lighting, secure loose rugs, and clear cluttered pathways. Most importantly, accept that asking for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Today, John leads a senior safety group in his community. "I tell everyone, don't wait for a fall to wake you up. The independence you save will be your own." His message has helped dozens of seniors make simple but life-saving changes. Share your own safety concerns in the comments below. Your experience might help someone else recognize risks they've been ignoring. Together, we can create a safer community for all our seniors. 3. Stop these mental health killers. Recent research from the American Psychological Association reveals a disturbing truth. Depression in seniors aged 65 to 75 increases mortality risk by 50%. Yet the most dangerous killer isn't depression itself. It's the toxic mental habits we refuse to let go. Sarah Mitchell, now 74, spent 2 years battling what she calls the darkness. "I woke up each morning thinking about everything I couldn't do anymore," she shares. "I kept comparing myself to my younger self, to my more active friends. Every day felt like a reminder of what I'd lost." The first mental habit you must stop immediately is negative aging self-talk. When you constantly tell yourself, "I'm too old for this," or "it's all downhill from here," you're not just expressing feelings, you're programming your brain for decline. Research from Yale University shows that seniors with positive self-perceptions of aging live an average of 7.5 years longer than those with negative views. Then there's the exhausting habit of comparison. You see Jane from your old office still working full-time, or Bob from church traveling the world, and suddenly your own life feels inadequate. This comparison trap doesn't just hurt, it kills. Studies show that constant social comparison increases stress hormones, weakens immune function, and accelerates cognitive decline. Perhaps the most insidious mental habit is allowing emotions to drive your health decisions. Feeling down? Skip the walk. Feeling worthless? Why bother with healthy meals? The National Institute of Mental Health found that 78% of seniors who let negative emotions control their health choices experienced significant physical decline within just 1 year. Sarah's transformation began when she realized these mental habits were stealing her joy and potentially her life. She started working with a counselor who specialized in senior mental health. The first thing we tackled was my language, she explains. Every time I said I'm too old, I had to replace it with I'm experienced enough to try this my way. The impact of changing these mental habits can be profound. Harvard Medical School research shows that positive mental health practices can lower inflammation, improve heart health, and even slow cognitive aging. But the change must start now. Every day you spend in negative thought patterns literally ages your body faster. Sarah found her breakthrough in mindfulness and community engagement. She joined a senior yoga class, not to become the most flexible, but to celebrate what her body could do. She started journaling about daily gratitudes instead of daily limitations. Most importantly, she stopped comparing her chapter 74 to someone else's chapter 50. Today, Sarah leads a senior wellness group that combines physical activity with mental health support. Her antidepressant dosage has been cut in half, and her doctor says her vital signs match those of someone 10 years younger. The mind affects everything, she says. When I stopped being my own worst enemy, my whole life changed. Think about the mental habits that might be holding you back. Are you constantly criticizing yourself, comparing your journey to others, letting negative emotions rule your health choices? It's time to stop. Your mental health isn't just about feeling good. It's about living longer, stronger, and happier. Share in the comments one negative thought pattern you're ready to release today. Your courage might help someone else break free from their own mental health killers. Remember, it's never too late to change your mind about aging, and in doing so, change your life. 4. Stop these relationship and social mistakes. The science is clear. Loneliness kills faster than smoking 15 cigarettes a day. A recent study by AARP found that 67% of seniors between 65 and 75 experience social isolation, yet most don't realize they're making relationship mistakes that could shorten their lives. David Chen's story illustrates this perfectly. At 71, he prided himself on being independent, rarely accepting invitations and turning down offers of help. I didn't want to be a burden, he says, but in trying to avoid being a burden, I was becoming invisible. The Harvard study of adult development tells us something profound. Quality relationships are the single best predictor of long-term health and happiness. Yet too many seniors are pushing away the very connections they need most. They stop calling family because everyone's too busy. They decline social invitations because it's too much trouble. They refuse help because I can manage alone. Each refusal, each missed call, each declined invitation is like a brick in a wall that slowly separates you from life itself. The National Institute on Aging reports that socially isolated seniors have a 50% higher risk of dementia and a 29% increased risk of heart disease. David's wake-up call came during a minor fall in his garage. Unable to reach his phone, he lay there for 2 hours before a neighbor happened to check on him. That's when I realized my independence wasn't worth my life. The transformation started small. David joined a morning coffee group at his local community center. He started accepting his daughter's weekly dinner invitations instead of making excuses. He learned to say yes when neighbors offered help with heavy groceries or home repairs. Today, David has what he calls his lifeline network, a web of friends, family, and neighbors who enrich his life. His blood pressure has dropped, his sleep has improved, and his doctor says his cognitive function is years younger than his age. The funny thing is, David reflects, accepting help didn't make me more dependent. It made me more capable of living the life I want. Stop isolating yourself today. Start with one small step. Return that phone call you've been avoiding, accept that lunch invitation, or join a community group. Your longevity literally depends on it. Share in the comments one connection you'll restore this week. Remember, reaching out isn't weakness. It's the strongest thing you can do for your health. 5. Stop these financial mistakes. Now, the Federal Reserve's latest report is alarming. 40% of Americans over 65 have less than $10,000 in retirement savings. But what's more concerning are the daily financial habits draining seniors' security faster than they realize. Patricia Thompson, a certified financial planner specializing in senior finances, shares her most urgent warning. I've seen too many retirees devastate their savings through 3 critical mistakes they could have easily avoided. The first mistake is unplanned spending. Barbara, age 70, learned this the hard way. After retiring with comfortable savings, she spent freely on small luxuries. Within 3 years, her emergency fund was gone. When her air conditioning failed during a heat wave, she faced a dangerous choice between health and financial stability. Even more dangerous is ignoring future medical costs. Medicare covers only 80% of approved costs, yet most seniors aren't preparing for the gap. The average out-of-pocket medical expenses after 65 exceed $6,000 annually, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's not counting long-term care, which can cost upwards of $8,000 monthly. The third critical mistake is avoiding estate planning. It's not just about money, explains Thompson. Without proper documentation, you could leave your family with years of legal complications and your healthcare wishes might go unfulfilled. The solution starts today. Create a detailed monthly budget that includes future medical expenses. Set up an automatic savings plan for emergencies. Most importantly, meet with an estate planning professional to protect your assets and your wishes. Share this video with someone you care about who needs this financial wake-up call. Type "Protecting my future" in the comments if you're ready to take control of your financial health. Remember, financial security isn't just about money. It's about maintaining your independence and dignity throughout your golden years. Remember Bob from the beginning of our video? 3 months after his wake-up call, he transformed his life by stopping these dangerous habits. Today, at 69, his doctor says he has the health markers of a 55-year-old. "I'm not just surviving," Bob says. "I'm truly living again." Every minute you wait to make these changes is a minute closer to a crisis you might not survive. The physical dangers, safety hazards, mental health killers, social isolation, and financial mistakes we've discussed aren't just risks, they're ticking time bombs. But here's the good news: you can start changing right now. Join our growing community of seniors who are taking control of their lives. Share this video with someone you love who needs to hear this message. In the comments below, tell us which habit you're stopping today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to join our Aging Strong series. Every Tuesday, we share new insights and strategies for thriving in your golden years. Next week, we'll reveal the 5 habits that can add 10 healthy years to your life. Remember, it's not about how many years you have left. It's about how many healthy, happy, and independent years you create for yourself. The choice is yours, and the time is now.